Students at Stanford got duped in this digital currency course. These guys on the right are from Paradigm, a firm invested in by Stanford's own endowment. We know because these two blabbermouths told us about the investment years after the videos for this course were made. And the products they're talking about, well, those are Paradigm's products, which makes them the school's products too. So basically, Stanford students are taking this course for objective information. Instead, what they're getting are underhanded ads for university investments. At Duke, things are different, because in Professor Harvey's blockchain course, you do start out reading Paradigm's 10-page investment thesis, and a Paradigm co-founder is a guest lecturer at the end of the course. But at Duke, it's not just the professors and their courses, because this Paradigm co-founder was also one of Duke's graduation speakers in 2021. So obviously, this is a lot of support for one firm, but you gotta understand, this kid is a legacy Duke alumni who was invested in early on by Duke's endowment, secretly. So, you know, we've all seen this somewhere before, not sure where, but that's fine. Corruption and nepotism at Duke are bad, but it's not why I made this video. Oh, Harvey also just published a book with the co-founder of Paradigm, and you guessed it, like half of it is a technical deep dive into Paradigm investments. But you know how you can tell this is a great book? It's got a foreword and a preface right on the cover, including one by Vitalik Buterin, co-founder of Ethereum. What's Buterin's views on child pornography again?
Plenty of Bitcoiners advocate legalization of all drugs. I don't see legalizing possession of child pornography as more radical than heroin.
Dude, heroin is something you do that impacts yourself. Owning child porn impacts children and encourages continued exploitation of children.
I can easily argue that doing heroin does impose risks on others, or simple possession of child porn does not.
That's weird. Why is my professor and my university's baby publishing books with a child porn activist? Well, you know, almost all of Paradigm's products are built on Buterin's platform, Ethereum. And oh yeah, speaking of Ethereum, there's this other Ethereum co-founder who wrote a story about sleeping with an 11-year-old girl. Let's listen to that one.
And so that evening, in a bedroom full of childhood memories of my grandmother's house, we slowly undressed each other and went to bed. We cuddled for hours before she maneuvered herself onto me and, mischievous smile intact, began to push her tender sex onto me. It hurt her, of course, but it was almost as though she craved the pain. Again and again, it continued through to dawn.
Holy shit! When I first contacted Duke in early 2020 to tell them how bad this Paradigm co-founder's investments were, including a file-sharing app for pedophiles, Filecoin is, by the way, founded by a Stanford alumni who was also in that course, you'd think Duke, hearing all this and seeing this context, would try to cut and run from their investee. Actually, Duke at first told me they had no business connection to this guy, but then when it was revealed that they were an early investor in his company, I realized they had lied to me. Since then, they've begun an organized campaign not to shut down this file sharing app for pedophiles, but ignoring my over 500 emails and censoring me from their Facebook groups, alumni database, and YouTube channel. So what was I supposed to do? Well, frankly, it's Duke's responsibility to know who they invested in, what he's building with their money, and how he's putting children of other alumni at risk. But I also couldn't just do nothing, so I created an explainer video on how Filecoin is a file sharing app for pedophiles, and I compiled footage from Filecoin developers contradicting themselves to prove it. I released this video the same day as Duke's graduation, and before I get to this, I just want to show you this graph. The same day that this video was released, something astonishing happened. The price of Filecoin plummeted 40% over the next 5 days. Now, it takes a lot of censorship about something important for someone like me to rent a mobile billboard truck. And clearly, the same day that I rented this advertisement on Duke's campus, someone started selling off their massive bags of Filecoin. The only difference between this video and the 500 emails I sent Duke beforehand was that this video implies legal culpability for Filecoin's earliest investors. Basically, if Duke was an early investor in this platform, they did not give a crap about profiting off little kids until they realized they could be held legally liable for it. As an alumni of Duke, you now get to explain to this little girl why, because of your alma mater, she now lives in a world where every teacher, sports coach, and camp counselor has an accessible financial incentive to sexually assault her, record it, upload it, sell it, and resell it, all anonymously over the Filecoin blockchain. The video of her being sexually assaulted will be sold and resold for extra side cash by anonymous individuals until the end of time. Explain to her why you did nothing while your alma mater protected and possibly even profited off new financial incentives for her to be victimized. And if you think you're not affected because you live in a rich neighborhood neighborhood or you have just tremendous faith in your community's IT department, I urge you to reconsider. These platforms are built specifically to be difficult to shut down and difficult to censor. Even if Duke sold off their massive bags, there's still this huge mess of a system for the taxpayer to clean up. Duke needs to be held fiscally responsible for that cleanup. You can help by sharing this video with your Duke friends and also by joining the Google group linked below. Consider watching the next video in this series and also try contacting one of these Duke-Alumni Association representatives. Depending on their reply, you may then be interested in reporting this crime yourself to the FBI. Thank you for listening, and I hope we can shut down these platforms as soon as possible.